Hey, oh,
Hey, morning.
morning, everybody. Tom and Jordan live here. Jordan is in the white room. Is that a padded room? I can't tell if that's padding on the
It
walls or
looks
not.
like I'm in some isolation room. Yeah, I need to get like some kind of picture or something behind me
Something,
or
yeah.
something.
Maybe a
Yeah.
picture of me.
What?
I think that I'll get you.
Nah, it's okay. We're gonna shoot that idea down.
All right, yeah.
So
And I got my messy background behind me, so
right. So first of all, Tom, how's Zoe doing? I know you did an update last week, and a lot of you got a great responses from people showing their
yeah.
stuff. So what's the latest?
She is doing way better. She is out of the hospital. She was, I don't know what I said last week. I was sort of wigged out when I was there, but she was in emergent. She was in ICU for 16 days. It was it's called SJS, or Steven Johnson syndrome 10, which is a advanced version of that, and just really painful and really traumatic. She was in a burn unit for 8 days because they treat it like a burn, and it was a adverse reaction to a prescribed antibiotic called Bactrim, and 3 out of 1 million people have this reaction, so it's super rare. The good news was the good news of I guess you look at the good news for everything, right? But the positive thing is that where she was in Manhattan, New York, and the one of the world-renowned hospitals for treating this really rare disease was, uh, 5 miles away from where she lived, and so she ended
Wow.
up being transferred from one, and she went into one hospital, transferred to another hospital, and then transferred to this hospital, all within 24 hours.
Wow.
As mom and dad are freaking out in in Maui, and so we jumped on a plane as fast as we could and got out there to be with her. So mom is still with her, and she's doing better. She's at our we have a room there that we rented to help with her transition back, and it's been a journey, and it's going to continue to be a journey. It's pretty powerful, and to what it does to when you see your little baby, 20 years old, but little baby that is having problems. And anyway, but I did talk about that last week, and thanks for asking. And she is on the mend, and we
Good
will
to
work
hear.
through it. Yes.
Yeah. I think it made all the difference. Like I told you before, you and Lori going up, I think just being there, she started to recover. It seemed like really quickly after that, just having you guys there. So that was really
Yeah.
good. I'm glad you guys did that.
There was, for me, it was never a question. I was ready to get on a plane, but with all the COVID stuff, it was so difficult to, just for us to get to New York, we had to take a test here, wait 3 days, get to New York, wait 3 more days, test again before we could even go in to see her. But, we also wanted to respect that how high risk she was. So we didn't,
Mhm.
as much as we wanted to bust in, it's like we can't.
Yeah.
And so that's the hardest thing. That was so hard too, just being there, but a block away from her, but yet couldn't see her for 3.5 days.
Right.
So that
Well,
was really hard. But we're
I'm glad she's doing better though.
yes.
Yeah.
So what's happening in Maui? What happened while I was away, Jordan? I'm back from Maui, by the way.
The market
If you
is
didn't
pretty hot. Yeah. Market is really getting busy. There's a lot of visitors too, so I mean the tourism industry is doing well. It's good to see businesses, pretty much thriving again.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just talking a little bit about current stats and stuff like that, and
Well,
a
before
lot,
that,
lot
though,
going
you're
on.
talking about
Yeah,
the visitor business,
yeah.
and you had mentioned, oh, we need to talk about the new restaurant. It's like I was there last night,
Yeah.
and wow, it is so flipping good. I was so stoked when I'm sitting at the place because by myself, so I'm sitting at the bar just doing my own thing and eating this food, thinking, wow, this is so different than any other restaurant. We're sort of holding everybody at bay. What
Yeah,
kind of restaurant?
everybody's like, "What is it?
Like what?
Where is
We're trying to keep them on the
it?"
hook here.
It's
But
McDonald's.
it's McDonald's, my ass. Anyway, yeah. So a great new restaurant called La Cantina, and it is
I
where
think it's La Cantrina. What is it? La
La Cantrina.
Cantrina?
Oh,
Cantina, something like that. Yeah, let me look up the
it's and
actual
I
name.
read about it. That's in the Day of the Dead. It's the tall skeleton woman that everybody, I don't know, idolizes or whatever it is. Anyway, it was a great. It's where Fabiani's in Wailea used to be, up by Monkey Pod, and I was
It's
talking
the
to
same
Mike.
owners too, right?
Yeah,
Isn't it?
same. Mike and Lorenzo own it, and it's sort of. I was laughing. It's like, okay, so we have an Irish immigrant and an Italian immigrant doing Mexican food, and I got to tell you,
It
it
was
is amazing because their cook is actually inland Mexican.
what's his name? The chef?
I don't know the name. I think it's a
He
gal.
came around. So, oh, okay. Well, anyway, one of the cooks came around. He's like, this is what you'd find in in Mexico City or something like that. And he was telling us a little bit about it. We got
Yeah,
the short rib tacos that were deep fried, and you dip it into the like almost like it's like au jus, or it's like the
yeah,
sauce
that's
and
what I
stuff.
had. Oh man, was that good?
Like, oh my goodness. And the drinks are great too. They have a lot of like fancy Mexican inspired drinks, and yeah, it's great.
Yeah, those short rib tacos rocked. I mean, they were so good. I went there last night. I'm thinking I might be back at the bar again tonight to have another one because they were just so darn good and different.
Yeah.
Though, then it's like they weren't spicy. They were more like almost like a beef sandwich you would dip in au jus and
It
so much
reminded me
flavor.
of like a Mexican French dip.
Yes,
When you like dip it in there and you get the au jus on it. I mean, it was, yeah.
they call it Mexican. They say their menu is Mexican comfort food. And it was just so darn good. And the place was packed. I mean, they are just killing it because, truly, it's like how brilliant, it's food, right? Hire the right chefs, you have the good management. Lorenzo and Mike have been doing a great job with their other places, and they saw an opportunity, and it's like, hey, let's go in here, and because there isn't a Mexican restaurant south of La Poa, I don't think.
No.
So, and it sure is Taco Bell. That's for dang sure. So it's great.
It's interesting
But
too because they kept, I was looking at the menu and they actually still have the pizzas, including Lorenzo's famous pizza on there. So you could still get, some of the Italian side as well as
right,
the Mexican.
yeah.
So
And then I was
yeah,
looking at their pizzas, and they have some Mexican, like some Mexican style pizza stuff going on. So I
yeah,
think they're doing
so
a great
cool.
job, and they're packing the place, and they're not, they found a niche over there that works. So I was excited, and I will definitely go back. So Mike, Lorenzo, congratulations on your new venture, and I would encourage everybody to support them, but you got to make reservations because it was so busy. I just
Packed.
walked
Yeah.
in. I just walked in and I was sitting at the bar, so it was easy, but the bar filled up then too. Hey, Danny. Well, you need to come out here and have some of that. Danny is my boyhood buddy. Like, I've known Danny Boydick since we were, I don't know, maybe in first or second grade. So, and then been great
Back in
friends.
Joliet, huh?
Back in J Town, as we say. So, yeah. So we got to get him out here. Anyway, so you were starting to go to the real estate world, and I cut you off because I was wanting to talk about food, and now I'm hungry. So
I know, man, that's a hard thing to recover from. But yeah, we're talking about stats, just the state of inventory, and it's kind of low inventory right now. But the good thing is that we're starting to see, I think, more sellers saying, hey, that now is a good time. There's to increase exposure. So there's inventory hitting the market, even though there's not, especially in the residential, there's not much inventory right now.
no,
But
under $1 million, there's only 2 houses. So if you've got something in Kihei, you're thinking it's time to sell. Now is a really perfect opportunity to put it on the market. If you're looking to buy something, I would definitely encourage you to reach out to us right now. Get on our radar so we know what you're looking for, and let us get you into our collaboration link so that as soon as something's listed, you get an automatic ping from our MLS system that tells you about it so that we can be on it. I know, Jordan, you just sold something, was on the market for 2 days. They had 3 offers, and you were successful at getting it done. And, that's one of the things too, in hot markets. I've been in a hot market. This is the second time I've been in a sort of a crazy market. And there are some tips and techniques that we will not share here, but we will tell you what we do to make our clients successful. And it is, if you're from the mainland and you're seeing that, there are agents that are selling real estate left and right because they know how to do the process. They know how to communicate. And they've been good agents with the rest of the community of agents. And trust me, that makes a difference. It's moments like this when, in every industry, there are people that you think, oh gosh, I think that they don't act as professionally as I would like. Well, it's moments when, as a listing agent, when you have multiple offers, it's like, okay, it's not just the offer, it's who do I want to work with? And that reputation is so big. And I don't think I want to go any further than that, but it's really helpful to have somebody on your team knowing what it is. Bouncing around from agent to agent right now, I think, is about the worst thing you can possibly do, because you've got no loyalty, and they're not going to be picking up the phone and calling somebody who's not loyal to them. So just some thoughts. Anything on that after my pontification there?
No, I agree. There's I talked to a client one recently, and the client was like, "Oh, just so you know, by the way, I'm working with so and so," and I said, "Then why are you? They're reaching out on a property and asking questions." And I said, "Why aren't you asking your agent? Your agent should be coming to the listing agent and doing that. I do that. I know me and Tom do that. We do a full service where it's not like, we're going to leave you hanging. Oh, go research on your own and come back to me. Like questions. It was a very easy question too that an agent could have answered for them. So I kind of said, you should go to your agent. Hopefully they're doing a good job. Because I like to.
And that being said, too, I think sometimes people, consumers, buyers, sellers, don't understand how the program works. If you've got a relationship with an agent, pick up the phone and call them. Don't be bouncing around through the internet, all those things, because it just frustrates the agents in the industry. And your agent wants to be there and be a resource for you. Trust me, they want you to call them and ask them. They want to be able to assist you and help you. It's not just Jordan and I. It's most agents in the community. The problem is they don't sometimes we don't educate our buyers on protocol and what's the best way to get to the finish line. And so it's just important, I think, for you guys, for everybody to be looking at that in the real estate industry. We're all commission salespeople, so we get paid when we make a sale. And so I think not always the people that work in full hourly jobs don't quite understand that sometimes. So the same thing goes for mortgage brokers too, as a general rule. It's like, they're bankers. No, many mortgage brokers work, 7 days a week, will answer their phones. So don't, and you call and leave a message if they're not available, and they'll get back to you when they can. Same thing with us. So, so anyway, inventory. I was just searching. There's about in South Maui, which is the numbers I use. In South Maui, we've got about 45 homes for sale of any price point. 2 of them under $1 million, and that's it. So that's interesting. And we also have condos. Our vacation rental condos, we're down to about 140. I think about 3-4 weeks ago now, probably a month and a half ago, when I started sort of sharing these things, we were at 220. Then it dropped to 190. We're down at 140. What I think happening is we're seeing people come here, more buyers buying into that resort vacation rental market, more renters are coming in, so that people are getting a bit more comfortable with that. And so that market is starting to escalate. And I also believe that there are some people that are buying into that resort market that really are looking for full-time, or not full-time, but are not necessarily looking for vacation rentals. It's just that's what's available in the price range. And so they're picking those up as well. So I think there's a lot of things happening in our market. I see Erin Evans. She's a great realtor over on Oahu, a friend of ours. She just jumped on. And aloha, Erin. If you need help, just let me know, and I'll connect you with Erin if you want to go to Oahu. She's got a great company over there. What are you seeing, Jordan, as far as other thoughts on the inventory? I know the residential condo market, I didn't check that, but I'm guessing that's been in the
it's been busy
range.
Right. We just had a Haleakala Gardens listing, which was at 475, 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Within the first 2 days, I had almost 10 showings. We put it under contract within, I want to say, 4 or 5 days. So it's very, and every agent I was talking to, predictably, they were like, "There's nothing else right now."
Right.
In that, there's a lot of people are honing in on that, that under $500,000 price point.
Yeah,
so,
and for a 3-bedroom, especially, that's hard to find.
Yeah. So I mean, it's interesting, but it's often a tale of two markets. It's always been vacation rental versus residential.
Right.
And it's interesting that I think there's still opportunities to be had in the vacation rental realm. Like you're saying, people are jumping over there because they're seeing there's still a lot of inventory in certain price points. If you look at that, and I think there's still some good buys out there for sure.
Definitely some opportunities.
Yeah, some
and what's happening too is what we're seeing, and I think what's putting some pressure on the market. I've now just dealing with several people that are doing 1031 tax deferred exchanges because they're selling property on the mainland and they're moving their money into Maui as an option. And just to give you a quick, brief overview of 1031 tax deferred exchanges, when you have a piece of investment real estate of any kind, you can sell it and buy a different piece of investment real estate. As long as it's investment real estate, you can buy that and take all of the money from the sale, less your cost of sale, and use it to buy the next property and defer your capital gains tax. So it's a great opportunity to continue to have your money working for you. If you're not familiar with them, give Jordan or I a call and we can help you with that. A lot of people are saying what they're doing is they're redistributing their portfolio, we'll say. So they have multiple rental homes or condos or apartments or commercial entities, real estate, and they're selling one of them and saying, you know what, I have a nice portfolio. I want to get rid of one of them and replace it with a vacation rental property in Maui so that I can travel there, write it off, use the property, and continue to rent it out and round out my portfolio with a vacation rental property. It's not just happening in Maui either. All of my friends in the resort communities, Vail, Crested Butte, the U.S. communities that are doing resort real estate are experiencing the same thing. Florida, all over the place. So, and it's a great way to diversify your portfolio and still have a place to go to someplace you love. So that being said, if you say, hey, I don't want to go to Maui, or I can't afford to go to Maui, I can definitely connect you with agents across the country where you can find, in Florida, where you can get something for a lot less money than you can in Hawaii or Texas. Right now there's probably some screaming deals because of the weather they got. But so there's opportunity out. Just reach out to me, reach to Jordan, and check us out or check with us, and we'll let you know. So, any other thoughts on that, Jordan?
I think covered all of that. Yeah, it's I've seen it as well. With the 1031, there's specific time frames that it has to happen. So if you want, need more info on that, reach out to us. But yeah, I mean, it's a good way. I think a lot of sellers are seeing it more, and the nice part is that you don't have to, if you're doing it cash, taking your money from one to another and buying something of equal or lesser value, you don't have to worry about a loan, which is good.
Now you can still get a loan though, and if you have a loan on the property, you have to replace. You have to have a loan on the next property. There's a lot, but we can connect you with a 1031 expert. But just so you know, you can get a loan on a 1031.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So,
all right, man. Cool. How's you posting videos? You got some videos going?
You know what? When Michelle has been helping me with that, I must say that I sort of, when I took off to New York, I just sort of kept that pretty private, and so I wasn't doing videos. I just didn't want to be out there with all of that. But Michelle, my teammate, has been helping with that, so she's been doing some stuff, and we've got our new series. Sort of took a little bit of a backseat, condos, cottages, and condos, castles, and cottages. We've got about 4 shows in the can, but we want to get some more done. So hopefully we'll get that done in the next few days and start releasing those, because I can't wait to do that. And so we'll get that happening too. So nice. All right, buddy. Hi. Oh, what about Rabbit? What are you guys doing? Any gigs anywhere?
No, nothing as of right now, but we'll keep you guys posted. Yeah.
All right.
But I've been doing the video challenge. It's been great. It feels like 28 days is kind of every day. Like it's certain days I'm like 8 o'clock at night. I'm like, oh my goodness, so. But I've
you hit every day?
Hit every day.
Congratulations. It's a lot of commitment and work.
It's good though. Yeah, no, it's good. I see a lot of familiar faces keep watching, consistent viewers and stuff like that. And, a lot of times I'm just like do a nice little beach shot or like a sunset or something like that, and people love it, you know. So it's like, hey, you know, anytime.
I
And
agree.
so yeah,
You
it's
never
been
know
fun.
what's gonna trip people's triggers either. It's interesting to watch that happening.
Right.
And what goes, I don't want to say that they go viral, but they get lots of views. And did you been still doing your Talk Pigeon Tuesday as well?
Yep. Yep. Last week's word was no need, or
No
phrase
need.
was no need. And
No need.
basically it means like, yeah, I don't need that. But it's funny because I was saying in the video, like, I don't even realize that it's pretty much pigeon because I say it so often, you know, like if you go to a restaurant and then the person says, want your receipt? Nah, no need. Like somebody
No, thank
commented,
you. It's no need.
one of my past clients commented, he lives here, but he said it's funny, he didn't realize it too. He said until he went to the mainland and was saying no need, and people are like, excuse me. So it's very funny.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, thanks so much for covering me while I was away and helping out. I appreciate that. Thanks to everybody for all their thoughts and prayers through the journey that we're on, and I'll keep you in the loop with what's happening. And we'll call it quits for now.
All right.
Oh, I got to end the broadcast. I forgot about it. I have a deal. I got to do something. All right, here we go.